What's the haps? I'm Meroka, and today I'm going to be taking an early look at Dimension Drive, a shmup from Too Awesome Studio. And this is a game I already took an early look at. This is my second early look. Took a look at this back in, I guess it would have been around June 2015, for that was when the game was on Kickstarter. And the dev sent me over a preview build back then, and I rather enjoyed it, so I backed it on Kickstarter. And now we are here. The game is not finished. The Kickstarter itself, estimated delivery on that was to be December 2015. Now, I recognize that it is a law of the universe, much like gravity, that Kickstarters are not permitted to meet their deadlines, but at this point we're over a year behind schedule, and it's now launching on early access, so it's still not actually finished. But nonetheless, it is available for you to purchase and play and just experience and see and enjoy, but bear in mind that it's not a complete product. But we're going to take a look at what there is, we're going to experience it, and I'm going to show it to you. For it is a shmup with a difference. If you saw the last time, you'll know that it's got some very mind-bending mechanics in there, but I'll show you me failing at them in a little moment. First, quick look at the options menu. We got resolution, full screen, graphics are just 3 presets of low, medium, high. VSync on or off, and anti-aliasing up to 8 times is the extent that you get there. Audio settings. I don't think this works, guys. I actually don't think this works. Earlier I was like, I kind of had, you know, as I do, I had YouTube, watching some YouTube stuff on one monitor, trying to play the game on the other monitor. And I was like, this game's kind of drowning out, I can't hear what anyone's saying. Let me just go into the options menu and change the audio volume. It does nothing. I don't know. I don't know if it's bugged or what, or if it's just me, or it works for other people, but it did nothing when I started playing with the audio volume and the music volume. It does nothing. I can turn it down to 0. And hear that? Music's still playing. It does nothing. Unless it only affects it in-game. I didn't test that, actually, to be fair. It might only affect it in-game and not affect it in the menu, which is a bit weird. Game settings, you can change the language, and you can change the vibration. Language options are English, Spanish, in fact, is what it is. Yeah. There you go. Vibration probably not going to affect you too much if you're on a keyboard and mouse, but it's a shmup, so I'm on a gamepad. So let us do a level. We have 3 game modes available to us: campaign, co-op, and Vera, which is here in the main menu, but this is locked. Doesn't tell you what Vera is. It is my understanding that is going to be like a fortnightly challenge mode thing. Co-op sounds interesting, because as we'll see in a moment, you're kind of controlling 2 games at once, so presumably you just kind of take a game each to do this, I don't know. And campaign is what we're going to take a look at, because I ain't got anyone to play co-op with. 4 modes, 2 of those are not available yet. Hard mode is just, you don't get any shields. Normal mode has shields. I'll take the shields, thanks. So we have 8 levels available to us in the early access build at launch here. We have 1 is tutorial level, and then 1.1 through 1.4. Menu, touch on unintuitive, because you're going around in a circle, but you've got to... From 1.3, you have to press right to get to 1.4, when 1.4 is to the left on the menu. And I've got an analog stick. I don't know, intuitively, you kind of push down and to the left to try and get from 1.3 to 1.4, but if you do that, that takes you back to 1.2. It's just a little unintuitive in that sense. We have also an asteroid field. I have not done all these levels. They're really kind of hard. I will show you why they're really kind of hard, because I'm not smart enough for this game. It's a thinking man's shmup. We got a little bit of story, artwork greatly overhauled since last time you saw this game. It looks pretty nice now. The game's looking really, really good. Mechanics, to be fair, broadly similar to what they were last time. So there we go. Now we've got a bit of story there. I hope you read it. Bad guys attacking, defeat bad guys is broadly where we're at. So we got 2 maps, and we play both of them. We have a ship on the left, and we have a dot on the right. And if I press A, I can flip over to the other side of the map. And I want to grab that. And that didn't work out, because I wasn't planning ahead enough. That's what happens when I talk and play, apparently. So I want to flip over there, go to that side. So I will use my Dimension Drive, my ship which is equipped... The only ship in the galaxy which is equipped with the Dimension Drive allows me to be in 2 places at once, kind of. You can basically warp between 2 game fields, and different things are going to happen on different game fields. So you gotta kind of keep an eye on what's happening on both screens, and try not to teleport into a wall, which is really the biggest obstacle, because the different maps have different layouts. And quite a lot of the time, if you're not paying attention to where you're going, you'll be like, oh, there's a lot of things on the screen, let me just dodge some bullets by moving to the other screen, and you will fly straight into a wall. It does lend itself to some interesting kind of puzzle design, because you got areas of the map that, where basically in a lot of instances that will require you to flip back and forth to navigate between solid walls that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get through. It's nice for kind of avoiding combat sometimes as well. If there's a lot going on one screen, you're like, it's quieter over there. I'm just gonna go do that. See, I was looking to get the cube on the left-hand screen, and I wasn't watching where I was flying on the right-hand screen. I'm a derp. But it's good for people who can multitask, I guess. You know what? I have no idea whether there's any truth to the women can multitask better than men thing. If that's true, I think women would be great at this game. I'm not. It takes me a lot of attempts to beat this game. I didn't. Same place. And 3 lives and it's over. Back to the start. I want to get the story cube. I don't know why I need the story cube. There are apparently 4 story cubes to collect in every level, which you should try and make an effort to get. Frankly, I've never actually found more than 3 on a level, so that's kind of strange. I don't know if there's like one secret hidden one on every level and I've just missed the secret one or something, or you have to do something particularly special to get the 4th one. That's not made abundantly clear. At any rate, yeah, I should probably skip those for now, because I got all the obvious ones on my first playthrough of this level. So yeah, it's taken me a lot of attempts to do every level. It's a very challenging game, but at the end of the day, it is actually quite a rewarding one as well. If you can get it right, it's like, man, that felt good to suss that one out. I'm on board with that. See, there's a cube over there that apparently unlocks you with more story. I've not noticed more or less story as I've gone through, but I think I've just kind of got the 3 cubes from every level, so I don't know. I don't know how it displays more or less story. Maybe you just get less of a cutscene or abridged cutscenes and stuff if you get less cubes. Not sure on that one just yet. You'll notice occasionally things are popping up saying low energy. Basically you kind of got, yep, like that. You've got energy meters at the top of both screens, and you only regenerate energy for your weapons when you're not on a screen in particular. So here we can do kind of a dodgy back and forth between the lasers kind of affair to navigate our way through. Puzzles, yo! You can also shoot the guns just to take them out and cut your way through that way, but you can also navigate through elegantly with your dimension drive, which is fun. So yeah, you you can't also just only play the game on one side. Aside from the ouch, that's kind of glitchy and buggy, I think, that one. I don't like that. But flip, please, there we go. But yeah, the game forces you to play both sides by running out of energy. If you run below 30% energy, it will reset your combo for the level. If you run out of energy, you simply won't be able to fire. And now we get to see what a boss looks like in this game, which is actually really interesting. So we can dodge inside the boss by going through the dimensional wall. And then we can dodge... Nope! Back the other way, ouch. Screwed that up. I've screwed that up kind of big time. No. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I just want to be through here. I'm doing this really badly. It's a very interesting idea, but this boss took me so very many attempts. And it's really frustrating that the live system just basically means if you die a couple times to the boss, because I usually lost one somewhere along the way. If I die a couple times to the boss, basically we're back at doing the whole level again. Which is less fun, honestly. I think when I finally got this boss, I had made more progress than I had this time. So you're kind of doing dodgy bullets and dodgy lasers on both screens, with the boss going both ways. So you need to be in 2 places at once, mentally speaking. I'm really bad at that. So we can get that one. Can I kill it? Yeah, there we go. I got a boss. Which I only got because I've done it before and I knew what the patterns were. Well, there is a little bit of just learning patterns by memory. There's kind of 2 ways to approach shmups, which is 1, patterns, or, you know, where all formations are pre-scripted, or procedural generation. Honestly, I feel like in recent years I've sort of enjoyed more randomized procedural stuff, just on the basis that the runs are different. In these instances, once you know a boss, once you know a pattern, it's almost more just a test of memory than any particular actually skill and reacting to things. There's no AI to them. There's nothing to evolve. So if you're nothing to sort of nothing to test your skill against because it's attacking you in an interesting way. If you know how to deal with a particular pattern, it's not going to do anything different at all next time. So, I mean, some people are going to like that. I mean, shmups have been doing that for time immemorial. So a lot of people like that, don't get me wrong. But people who are perhaps enjoying more of the likes of, to point out the one that I'm credited on again in recent years, Rush Fusion, if you're more into the sort of Rush Fusion type of shmups, this is not that. But at the same time, with even as far as your, I don't know, do we want to call them static versus procedural shmups? As far as your static shmups go, this is definitely more interesting just because of the dimension drive. There is a lot of thinking involved. Quite a lot of thinking. More thinking than I can usually wrap my head around. So I'm going to hop on into one of the World 2s when they've started introducing some more mechanics. I'm going to fail miserably at it. Actually, let's do the first level, because I have finished this level. I might be able to do it. The second level of World 2 actually involves pressing switches as well, which just complicates things further. I kind of can't wrap my head around that. So not only can we switch screens, not only can we shoot, but we can also flip backwards, which makes us fly slightly slower and can be used very tactically, and we can shoot backwards, which is a useful ability to have. It's actually a pretty useful ability to have. So I want to go grab these guys. The only way I'm going to be familiar with this is because this level, I've only just finished this level, and it took me a lot of attempts, so I should be fairly familiar with most of the patterns, I think. Only the final section of each world, I think, has an actual boss. Everything else just has all the other worlds, they have a kind of boss, it's just more of a mini-boss kind of affair. Which is to say, they're all reasonably easy to dodge and reasonably similar. It's always kind of the same format, and they just add kind of more... They add more ads, I suppose, is basically the way to put it. They add extra turrets and things that are otherwise going to make your life a little more difficult. There's a shield there, I don't need it, so I should probably not waste my time and effort trying to acquire that. It's a little quieter over this side, so we should probably go over here. Wait till these guys disappear, because I know that's how the pattern goes. If you were going for a score attack, I guess you would want to aggressively try and kill everything you could if you wanted high scores. I'm just contenting myself with actually finishing the levels, so... There's a lot of strategic opportunities to say, you know what, I'm not going to pick a fight here. And that's nice. It's like, you know what, these enemies are tough. They're probably worth a lot of valuable points if I were going in for high score places. But honestly, it's just easier for me to not get involved. So that guy has actually given me a lot of trouble in the past. I'm glad I actually managed to deal with that reasonably competently this time. Head over to the other side. Kind of nasty over on the left, so we're just gonna do things on the right until I run out of energy. Switch over and have another go on this side. Oh, low energy again. Let's go back to this side. Okay, so now I have one shield and I know I'm approaching the final boss, but I don't know if I've ever actually done the final boss while I've actually had full weapons before. I mean, I say full weapons as though there are different tiers of weapons. So this is your mini-boss. The mini-boss is always going to be this guy with these bullets. Levels 1, 2, 3 in each world is going to be this guy, at least so far in the early access build. And then, like you saw, they sometimes throw turrets in. As it is, those turrets in this level, you can take them out before you start the boss fight, and it makes your life a lot easier. If you don't take them out, this is going to be a more complex boss fight. But yeah, this guy's mostly gonna be it. So it'd be nice to see a bit more variety, but perhaps those are features that are in the works for early access. As it is, I fought that guy 4 times now, so you know, I kind of know what he's doing, and there we go. So that is shooting backwards, which is a thing. As I say, if we go to the next level, I will briefly show you this. I will fail miserably at it, but I will briefly show you this. Skip that. Not bothered about the story stage. You can see the switches, which are interesting, but just yet another thing for me to wrap my head around, and my head does not wrap around it well. So see? Those The tutorial, again, maybe doesn't communicate that particularly well. It says, oh, go get the switches. They're the green things. I was like, well... oh, wait, what have I missed? I missed something. Did I need to warp over the other side? Where did I miss? I missed a switch. I'm not sure where I missed the switch, though. And I wasn't watching where I was going, so I flew into a rock. My god, I'm really bad at this. Yeah. A lot of narrow spaces, a lot of thinking about where you're going, and also how you're playing it. There's a lot of multitasking, a lot of having to do multiple things with your hands, and I'm not great at that. So let's... Right, I have to warp across here. Right. I gotcha. Then we shoot that backwards, which opens the door on the other side and lets me fight this. Cool. The thinking man's shmup, as I say. I am not a thinking man. I am not a smart man. But it's a cool design. It's a very novel, very unique design. I've never seen anything like this in shmups. I'm big into shmups, but I do get a little weary of seeing the same old thing over and over again. And you know what? You do see a lot of the same old thing over and over again with shmups. It's a genre that's been around for a long dang time. And a lot of people are like, well, I guess it's a fairly easy genre to get into developing, perhaps. But to that end, a lot of people just don't really do anything new with the genre, which is why I quite like kind of the more random procedural, kind of roguelite-y kind of shmups, because they're kind of a fresh take on the genre. Have only really appeared in the last few years, which is... I just like to see new things in genres, really, and this is definitely what this is. This is something new in a genre. So as you see, there's maybe not a crazy amount of content in the game right now at launch on Early Access. That's your lot. There are 8 levels. It's taken me a reasonable amount of time to get through them, though. It's taken me, during my stream, about an hour and a half to play through 5 out of 8 levels, if you want some kind of frame of reference there. But I've taken a lot of attempts on them. That was hard mode, I guess, if you want to be, you know, really prove something, but that's not for me. It's not for me at all. So, it'd be interesting to see where this goes. Again, I would like to see more varied mini-bosses, I think, just to keep things a little bit fresh as you're going through the first 3 worlds of each world, perhaps. But, otherwise, it is a great concept. I think maybe at launch on Early Access, maybe this is going to be lacking in a little bit of content for a few people, but hey, that's what your Steam wish lists and things are for, so you can keep an eye on Early Access titles and pick them up when they're a bit more fleshed out. Certainly I'll be coming back to have another look at this when it is a lot more fleshed out. Honestly, considering I covered it a year and a half ago and it was supposed to launch a year ago, I had hoped maybe there might be more than 8 levels at this stage in the game's existence, but I mean, if you go back and look at that video, it's very, very easy to see that actually quite a considerable amount of work has gone into just making the game look great now. Because the game does look great. It looks a lot better than it did a year and a half ago. But mechanically, it's just as head-deskingly frustrating as it was then. I was bad at it then, I'm bad at it now, but I love the concept. That is Dimension Drive from 2 Awesome Studio. There will be a link to that in the description below. As I say, that is out on Steam Early Access today. At time of recording, I haven't actually found a price for that one. Kickstarter, the buy the game price was €12, so I would imagine that it's going to launch round about that price on Steam as well. So that'll be there as well. Check that out. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Meroka. This has been Dimension Drive. I will see you next time!